This of contradiction. These meetings in Sagana Bitok do not really give the desired result. I'll tell you because I'm one of the people who has visited that Sagana Bitok. One time, in the first term of the president, we were invited to Sagana, and I tagged along my former governor, Kiambu, William Kabogo. And William Kabogo Bitok made a serious request on Sagana, standing on the floor. I remember he was not to talk at the meeting. It was the first time Igatha was introduced to politics, that time that I was in Sagana. And Kabogo raised very pertinent issues to do with Central Kenya. And he has always been passionate about health. So Kabogo raised the issues of Bitok. Who requires the most health services, Bitok? It is the people who are so populated. Because Bitok, the more you are populated, the more you require more health services so that you can meet the needs of the people. So Kabogo made a very passionate appeal to the president on that particular hall in Sagana State Lounge, and told the president that if we don't even do anything else for Central Kenya, can we expand the health services for the people of Central? Because he argued, in Kiambu, we are around 2.4 million Bitok. So therefore, if you compare Kiambu and Lamu, that has about less than 200,000 people, who would require more services or health services? It is Kiambu. So Kabogo said the best gift the president would have given Kiambu and the entire Central people is expand the health services in Kiambu, because Kiambu is populated, Central Kenya is populated, and we require health services every day. But what happened? The only thing we ended up was just Kabogo making a passionate appeal, Bitok. Nothing happened. Instead, we now have a national government that has taken over Gatondo Level 5. It is now a referral hospital that is being controlled by Kenyatta University. What did they leave us in land? Because, if a hospital becomes a referral hospital, you don't just pop in. So, what I'm saying is, these Sagana meetings, they are just there to go and whip promotions, Bitok. There is nothing conclusive that will come. Because if today, Bitok, it is the people of Ndeya who are saying they are not going to pass BBI, why do you need the same readers you have in Nairobi and take them to Sagana? You should be asking the readers to do town hall meetings. Educate people on BBI. Let's see if they can change their mind. But instead, you tell the president, let us go to a serene place, enjoy ourselves as we discuss the fate of BBI. My friend, Your Excellency, the president, the only thing you did to those members of parliament and those people who purport to support BBI, you just gave them the serene environment of Sagana Rouge. Watoke hiyo Sagana wakuje watupate pahali tu walituacha.
Huyo rais unamwongelesha amesema ataanza kunguruma kama simba.
Ai bana, unajua ulipewa nguvu za kuguruma kama simba miaka 8 iliyopita. We should now be discussing bona uje kuwa ukiguruma.
Unacheza na Uhuru, unacheza na rais.
Si kucheza na rais. You see, let me tell you, Bitok, it is like we give you authority to kusimamia kitu 8 years ago. Na wewe ushindane utamwambia nitaguruma kama simba. That authority, that day in 2013 at Kasarani, when he was given the instruments of power, he was given authority kuguruma kama simba. That authority was also reassured 5 years later. So therefore, it is not a question of whether he will guruma. We are 8.5 years into his presidential term. Bona hajekuwa akiguruma miaka 8 na nusu. That would be the question. Useme ati nilisikia akisema kule usione Siba amenyeshewa ukadhani amekufa. Paka amenyeshewa.
Amesema usione paka simba amenyeshewa
ukafikiria ni paka. You see, at the end of the day, mimi najua simba hawezi nyeshewa. Simba akiona mvua anajificha mvua ama anajua ni aje. So ukiona paka simba amenyeshewa, likelihood ni paka. Juu Siba hawezi nyeshewa. You know. Kama wewe, if you watch Not Your World, you realize that there is no way a lion will be laying down just like that unless it is going after a catch. That's the only time it will be laying. So I expect if huyu Siba amenyeshewa akitafuta chakula, na hiyo ni chakula ya wananchi. That's my belief.
All right. The government is seeking 1.3 trillion extra to finance its budget. Serikali inaomba 1.3 trillion Kenya to finance its budget. Actually, it's led by 6 months on the Chinese loan for the SGR. What are your thoughts on that?
This is where you first of all say Uhuru delivers. See on your punchline. Hashtag Uhuru delivers. Let me tell you, it is very sad. We have already taken about 7.2 trillion in loans, something of the sort. About 7 trillion. We have already taken 7 trillion in loans. Now, last year, Parliament raised our debt ceiling to 9 trillion Kenya shillings. So, if the Minister for Finance, Ekuli Etani, is going to take an extra 1 trillion shilling bitok, we will be at around 8 trillion in debt. You may be aware that this last year and this year, bitok, we have quite a number of loans that have matured, and we need to start paying them. You look, our external debt are paid through our consolidated fund. And of course, you know, consolidated fund is, we pump our consolidated fund with the revenue that we collect. So therefore, we are 8 trillion shillings in debt, bitok, because there is no question that the government will definitely take these loans. And we have said that this 1 trillion, it is to cover the budget deficit because we have not corrected revenue as we projected. And we have taken this loan. The question would be, how are we going to repay these loans, bitok, if we do not address the economic policy to add the ease of doing business in this republic, bitok? Because when you take a loan, a public debt, the person who is expected to pay that public debt, it is you and I. And therefore, this government has given the problem that we have not been able to correct revenue because business has been bad. Now, you go ahead and you pick a loan without first of all addressing the issues on how to ease the way of doing business in this republic, so that bitok, me and other people can venture into business, generate more revenue, so that we are able to pump more money to a consolidated fund. Subsequently, we can be able to realign on how to pay our debts. I have not seen the economic advisors of the president tell the president that while we have a number of loans that have matured, bitok, can we renegotiate these loans so that they do not become a burden to this republic? You just hear that they just want to borrow, and more borrowing. But I have not heard that this government has sat down with China, has sat down with France, has sat down with the UK, and has sat down with the International Monetary Fund, World Bank, so that they can renegotiate some of these loans, so that we do not find ourselves in an economic recession. But it is very sad that we read a budget of 2.7, was it 2.7 trillion? We are reading a budget of 2.7 trillion that about 927 billion in this particular budget was supposed to go to repaying our own bitok. Instead, we are now going to borrow a loan that is even more than what we are paying. It is very sad, and I think if you ask me that the president, the current president, the Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, His Excellency, might go down as the worst fiscal manager in this country, because it cannot be that in 10 years the Honorable Mwai Kibaki borrowed so less and did too much, and then in 10 years of Uhuru found this country in about 2-point-something trillion in debt. He is going to leave this country with an extra 7 trillion in debt. Without addressing, how do you go and take a loan without addressing the means of paying that loan? What is the means? The means of paying that loan, it is through the revenue that we collect that goes to the consolidated fund. So therefore, you ought to address the people who are actually paying that revenue. Are they be able to do good business? If you pick a project today, Bitok, today, walk into a bank, Bitok, take a loan. You take a loan in the bank, either you pick it up against, you will know that you have a salary that will be able to cover the premiums per month. Or you pick a loan and put it in a business, you know that this business is going to give me enough money that will give me my profit and repay my loans. But you cannot walk to a bank without a formula of repaying that loan. In fact, no bank can give you a loan, Bitok, without knowing the formula of paying that loan. So I want to say this. When the government goes ahead to International Monetary Fund, do you know what we are going to forego for us to be given that loan? The International Monetary Fund has said that we have to either scrap or reorganize over 100 parastatals in government. About 76,000 people will lose their job just so this government can get a loan from International Monetary Fund. Because the International Monetary Fund has done a research on so many government parastatals that they believe that they are a burden to the Republic of Kenya. Why are these parastatals a burden to the public? It is because the government has not been tough on the managers of these parastatals. So they have become money-milking businesses. So was it worth it that about almost 80,000, specifically 76 to 80,000, is it worth it that they are going to lose their job so that this government can get a loan of 1 trillion? Because that is the requirement the International Monetary Fund has given. You have to either scrap or reorganize or merge about 100 parastatals of this government. It's very sad that for us to get our own Bitok, that we are going to repay, there is a group of Kenyans that will lose their livelihood.
All right. This story is, I'm seeing the headlines of the Star. Twin attack, Uhuru Raila head to Central. ODM chief under the roadshow, undertake the roadshow to Kenol. There's rallies ahead of Sagana meeting. All right. Uhuru and Raila Odinga to Central Kenya. Of course, you know what the target is. Is William Ruto going to survive the onslaught by the two in Central Kenya? Because it looks like now the political war has really started.
You know, when you hear that the president, who is a kingpin in quote in Central Kenya, has enrolled the services of Raila Odinga on a roadshow to Central Kenya, that is when you realize that William Ruto has already fixed these guys. Otherwise, it will not warrant them to go to Mount. You know, let me tell you, what would be sad, it will be Raila trying to go to Nyanza to appease his supporters. You know, you may hate Raila, like him, but you know Raila does not need to struggle to go to Nyanza. He does not even need to say he is coming. His supporters needs to know he is in Nyanza, and they will show up. William Ruto, if he's going to LD Bitok, he does not even need to say he is going to LD. His supporters just need to get a whim that he is in LD. Then, here is Uhuru Kenyatta, who has to plan on how to get to Central Kenya. You know, let me tell you, it is sad. You would expect that if Uhuru is coming to Sagana, if Uhuru is coming to Keno, it does not need to be announced. It just needs to be said, Uhuru is coming. Let me give you an example. When we were in high school, we hear that Moi would be passing by our road. All schools would be in the road. Everybody would leave everything to do so that we can go and see Moi. That ought to be the case in Central Kenya. That tusikie tu Uhuru ameonekana hapo kwa Mbera anaingia Limuru. By the time he is getting to Limuru ought to be on a standstill. But now Uhuru has to call people to Sagana. He has to accompany. Can I tell you, if Raila was coming to Limuru, people today will show up in big numbers because Raila is an icon of politics in this country. That number does not necessarily translate to actually getting votes. But the saddest thing is that Uhuru has to strategize on how to visit Central Kenya. How sad can things get? That somebody who is purported to be a kingpin in Central Kenya has to actually plan, has to actually have state machinery fund, bring people, because I can tell you without fear of contradiction that Kenya will have people being brought from all over. The president ought not to struggle. He ought not to spend a penny. He ought not to have any reader organized for him. He just needs to say, I will pass by Kenya, and people will show up. But unfortunately, that is not the case in Central Kenya. If they will not organize, if readers will not get involved and allow people to voluntarily come to Uhuru's meeting in Kenya, I can assure you that place will be almost empty. Because we expected so much from the president as Central Kenya people. But where is he leaving us? Our cash crop, Bitok, is the tea. Our cash crop is coffee. Our cash crop is milk. Our cash crop is jungle nuts. Where has he left the agriculture processes in this Kenya, in Central Kenya? Because if you do not address the issues that make money for Mwananchi in Central Kenya, you know, you can build as many roads as you want. But if you do not address the price of coffee, the price of tea, I mean, today we are talking about a coffee bill that we want it to address the coffee auctioners who are milking money out of farmers. But you'll be surprised, and we will have this discussion some days to come. Who are controlling? Who are the people controlling the coffee auctions in this republic? That is when you realize that the leadership of this country is a mockery to those people who do coffee farming, who are actually in charge of the marketing of tea in this republic. It would surprise you. The people we are trying to target are the people who are controlling these processes of having the tea bill. We are just being treated to a circus by the very people who have been oppressing the coffee farmers, the tea farmers, the milk farmers. These are the very people who are oppressing us. And then we are the people we are expecting them to actually deal with issues to do with our farming. It's so unfortunate. So if you ask me, I wish, I know that there are people who have never seen Raila Odinga in Central Kenya, specifically in Keno. So Uhuru is very strategic, Bitok, because if he goes with Raila, people will come out to see Raila more than to see him. I wish, and I wish they would drop Raila out of that visit.
That's the only way he's going to say. So even as Uhuru Kenyatta makes aggressive inroads into central Kenya and also carries his handshake partner Raila Odinga, the question was, do you think William Ruto is going to survive the new aggression? Because at the end of the day...
Let me tell you. Let me tell you, Bitok. The support, anybody supporting William Ruto in central Kenya, I included Bitok, we do not support William Ruto based on anything to do with ethnic issues in central Kenya. We support William Ruto because we believe this is a leader who actually helped us. If indeed, in quote, helped us, helped the president to win the presidency. This is a leader who actually has been supporting the leadership of Uhuru Kenyatta. And more so, Bitok, that William Ruto was introduced to central Kenya politics by none other than the president of the republic. The first serious tours of William Ruto in central Kenya were with Uhuru Kenyatta. He introduced him in more than 15 times. The president insisted that he would be serving 10 years and then he will be leaving the mantle to William Ruto.
All right, let's take this guy who's calling in. This guy anasema all right, I missed your call. You can call in again.
So William Ruto, we support him because we passionately believe in his ideological type of leadership. We support him because we believe he's a visionary person. We support him because some of us know that programs like the Rust Mile, Bitok, programs like the housing that has never taken place, some of the programs that were initiated in this government were initiated with the brain of William Ruto, programs like TVET, those programs that are actually going to revolutionize the technical ability of young Kenyans. These are issues that William Ruto believes in. So I was going to tell you, the people who support William Ruto in Central Kenya, Bitok, they support him out of passion, not because they get something out of him, not because William Ruto has sponsored people to go to his meetings, not because William Ruto has coerced those people who support him in Central Kenya to support him. They support him because they believe in him. So whether Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila are going to make 100 visits, Bitok, they will not change the fact that William Ruto has taken the lead in the leadership of this country come 2022. And both the president and the opposition leader, or should I say the former opposition leader now in government, are playing second fiddle to what William Ruto is doing. In fact, look at the headlines. They keep saying that the president and the former opposition leader, they are planning on how to counter Ruto. And I've told you it's a sad thing. How does a president who comes from Central Kenya said to be planning how to counter William Ruto in his own backyard? You know, it's absurd. It's
right.
absurd.
In other news, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, and Wetangula, Moses Wetangula are back in all fold. Now they have recruited KANU chairman and Baringo Senator Gideon Moi. What are your thoughts on that alliance?
You know, that